We're live. Let's get my neon on. All right, we're glowing live. Let me just put it on one thing. We're live. Woo! Let me just stick it on Facebook. Quite a late one for me. We're live. Okay, it's Louis defending Elvis Presley. Fans want the truth. It feels a bit darker in here. It's because I don't often do live streams when it's dark. So what do you reckon? It's still light enough. I've just had some dinner. So I wanted. I'm just seeing if the camera's right. Let's have a look. A bit more like that. Okay, we're showing a bit too much of the table. I don't think it matters. Look, I got my two books. My two books that are my little companions through my lives. I have actually got more books now. Jane, hi Jane. How we going? So, obviously, if you're new to this channel, we are defending Elvis Presley. Fans want the truth. It takes a little while for you guys to jump on board. It is basically 9 p.m. UK time. My name is Louis. I'm from the southwest UK, near Bristol. I'm a lifelong Elvis fan. Been a fan for over 50 years. Bit by bit, we have evolved into defending Elvis Presley. And I always say this. We have not always been a defending Elvis Presley channel. I mainly was making videos, 1-minute videos, a lot of them, and shorts. They've had millions of views. TikTok, Instagram. I've actually had a massive TikTok account that had millions of views that was deleted because TikTok are just sometimes they just get things wrong. You post something and they say that it's not suitable. You try and tell them it's fine, and then they delete you, which is what happened to me. And that one had millions of views. But, you know, we have a great channel on Instagram and Facebook and X, as well as YouTube. So how we going? It's Stacey there. Oh, right, Stacey's listening as we drive. So the reason I've come back on tonight is because I wanted to go through these comments. You guys sent me a lot of comments. I started going through them, and then the audio went funny on the last live stream. Now, let me just get that up a minute, just see what it's called. The last live stream, I don't even remember what it's called now, guys, was called Defending Elvis Presley. It was the doctor's report. Elvis Presley. So I think it's something like, let me get it right. Right, Defending Elvis Presley doctor's report. And this was to do with, did Elvis Presley have brain damage? This is like a doctor's report, an autopsy type report that someone was chatting about on the 24/7 chat. I clicked on it, thought it was quite interesting, and then we read it out. And to be honest with you, I thought a lot of it was a load of rubbish. We was very critical and we reviewed it, and ultimately we just thought it was garbage. But the last 15 minutes of it, I warn you, the audio, the sound was all breaking up, made me sound like a robot. But it doesn't matter because it was an hour and 6 minutes long, so 50 minutes of it was good. I also have posted, just so you know, in case you think I'm doubling up, I have been posting some of the live stream videos on my video channel so that people, because I have found that many of the people that watch live streams don't watch the video channel and vice versa. So I thought we need to reach out, spread the message of defending Elvis. So I've let it jump over to the video channel now, and it's had quite a lot of views. You know, I started doing it about, let me just have a look. The first one I did was only 2 days ago, and it was called Defending Elvis Priscilla Presley fans need to know the truth. And that has already had 666 views. And then I posted, Priscilla Presley fans have been fooled. That's had 234 views. So there's one here, Priscilla Presley, I still love Elvis. That's had 454 views. Now this is on the video channel. Yeah, still defending Elvis Presley, but not live. So I'm just trying to broaden the reach. But you know, my main thing at the moment is the live streams. So just let a few more of you guys join us. So at the end of the last live stream, I did want to start reading out your comments. So I started to do it, and then it all went wrong. The sound went funny. So I'm going to go back to that. I was just about to read Marta's comments. So let's find it. Now, Marta was commenting on one of my videos I posted. I was making it clear, because obviously we defend Elvis. So if someone talks about Elvis being with an underage girl, like Priscilla, obviously, I jump straight in there. And I personally say that Elvis Presley, that was over 20, as far as I know, never went with a girl under 18. Forget 14. And I have, with all the research I've done, I have never, except for Priscilla and what she put in this book, she put some quite, how can I say it, salacious details about her and Elvis so-called did in the bedroom, everything but sex. And I dispute that. I dispute it, because there is no proof that anything in this book happened. There is zero proof that anything in this book happened. You know my feelings on this book, guys. Written by Priscilla. From her point of view, Elvis had been dead 7 years. She was not his widow. She was his ex, his divorcee that had been unfaithful, that had given him a very cruel divorce twice, 2 divorce settlements, very cruel. Had treated him, Elvis, horribly. Yeah. If we talk about Steve Peck and Mike Stone, pretty gruesome facts, yeah? In that book, she also talks about what may have gone on in the bedroom. I dispute it. Where's the proof? Priscilla literally, in this book, can say whatever she wants. She can literally say whatever she wants. Who's going to disagree with her? Elvis ain't going to disagree with her. He's passed away. Who will disagree with her? Even lovely Lisa Marie, she couldn't disagree with anything in this book, could she really? She was between a rock and a hard place. Was she going to disagree with her mother? I think not. So the point is, Marta Arroy has responded to the comment where I made that, as far as I can see, Elvis has never been with a woman under 20. Yeah, I'm talking about an older Elvis that's in his 20s, not a teenage Elvis. I'm not talking about a 20-year-old Elvis. I'm talking about Elvis over 20. Right, let's have a look. Who we got? We've got Jane and chilling in Canada. We've got Gio, Stacy. We'll wait for some more of you to come on. Right, let's just start going through. This is a comment that was done a few hours ago. Right, actually was probably done this morning from Marta. I don't think I've ever read out Marta's comments. Now, Marta comments regularly, has very long comments, very detailed comments. She's very passionate. Yeah. So, Marta, I hope you don't mind me reading your comment. Right. Let's have a look. June Junico was 18 years old and Elvis was 20 when they met. Anita Wood was 20 years old and Elvis was 22. Now, if you disagree with me on any of these things, guys, please let me know in your comments. Deborah Pageant was 26 years old. Elvis was 24. It's funny because I don't know why, I thought she was younger than that. Anyway. Is it? Right, let's have a look. So she was 2 years older than Elvis. See, look, we're getting to the point here. Then we've got Anne Margaret was 26 years old. Elvis was 24. Does that sound right to you guys? Then we've got... Oh, no. I'll read that again. Sorry. Anne Margaret was 26. Elvis was 28. Then we've got Susan Henning was 24. And remember, as far as I know, guys, Susan Henning had a child as well. So this stupid rumor that Elvis doesn't sleep with a woman that's had a baby, which is just ridiculous. Susan Henning disproves that. So just out of interest, guys, what time is it where you are? I'm interested to know what time is it where you are. So then we've got, let's have a look. Barbara Lee, let me just get this right. Your comments have stopped. Are you still there, guys? Let's have a look. There you are. Right, okay. It's all right. Your comments stopped for a minute. Okay. Just out of interest, guys, what time is it where you are? Can anyone answer? What time is it where you are? So then we've got... all right, so it's... yes. Hi, David. Hi, Jane. So it's 10:09 in Spain. So let's have a look. So now let me just keep going with this. It's a bit hard to read, but I'm going to get it. We have got Barbara Lee. Ooh, let's have a look. Right. Susan Henning was 24. Elvis was 33. Is that right? Does that sound right to you? Okay. Then we got Barbara Lee was 24. Kathy, her backup singer, was 22 or 23 years old. Linda Thompson was 22. Sheila Ryan was 24. They were all very big and would bet that they all had a lot of experience. So you were getting the drift, yeah? People try to make out as if Elvis, like, what's her name? Suzanne Finstad, the author of this book, Child Bride, who I'm very unhappy with because she said some derogatory things about Elvis, yeah? Called him a paedophile, basically. She said, Suzanne Finstad said that Elvis had a sweet spot for 14-year-old girls. Now, I'm still going to keep reading. I want to know who all these 14-year-old girls are, because this is why we defend Elvis Presley, because it's just rubbish. Elvis had a lot of girlfriends that were over 20. Dozens of them. Dozens. Hi, Finola. So I'll keep going. I think she was, so let's have a look. Sheila Ryan, I think she was 24. They were all very big, and I would bet that they all had a lot of experience. If Priscilla had it at 14 years old, imagine the others. And the woman who were mothers with children, and Elvis had no problem being with them in privacy with Elvis. Also dated who were old, right, it says here, Elvis also dated women who were older than him. Definitely, yeah? It is very easy to search for them. They are all on Pinterest, right? Now, they were all over 20 years old. Elvis was attractive and a young man. He was not a dirty old man. Very true. See, this is the other thing. People, non-Elvis fans, yeah? They just think that Elvis spent his life having sex with underage girls. It's ridiculous. It's no different than saying Elvis spent his whole life eating cheeseburgers, eating peanut butter jelly and banana sandwiches. It's just ridiculous. It's like, why do people believe it? This is a man that was slim from the 50s right until 1976. Slim. But they say that he spent his life binging on burgers. It's literally ridiculous. The horrible way that Elvis has been portrayed by the public for 40 years is so unfair to him. This is why we defend him. Right. I'll keep going with this comment. They were all over 20 years old. Elvis was an attractive young man. He was not a dirty old man. None of them naive or even less innocent. So what I think Marta is saying is that a lot of these girls that Elvis dated were not sweet, innocent girls. You know, they try and give the impression that Elvis only wanted a virgin. Elvis only wanted a girl that was very young. It's bullshit, guys. It's bullshit. It is the truth being twisted. You cannot look at Priscilla Presley or Priscilla Bueller, whatever you want to call her. And yes, he knew Priscilla for 6 weeks. How many of you know that he only knew her for 6 weeks in Germany? They had a brief friendship, but because of it, he has been tarred. How many years is it now? It's 2024. And even now, people only see that Elvis liked little girls. That is how wrong this is. Even though Elvis had dozens and dozens of girlfriends that were older than 20, even older than Elvis, many had had children. They can't get it out of their head. Where's the picture? They can't get it out of their head. Priscilla and Elvis. Priscilla the child, Elvis the grown man. That's all they've been brainwashed. It's the word indoctrinated. They literally have heard it again and again and again. They've heard it so many times. They believe it. They think Elvis just walked around with 14-year-old girls. It's ridiculous. This is why we defend Elvis Presley. Fans want the truth. This is why Team Elvis is here. Let's keep going. Leonardo DiCaprio only dates girls who are 20 years old, and he is almost 50. He does not date girls who are over 20 years old because he's considered old now. No one criticizes him and even less points out his name. Why interviewers insist? Well, you know, I'm not going to comment on Leonardo DiCaprio. That's just someone else's comment, okay? So I'm not sure if I agree with that. Let me just keep reading the comment. Women who were mothers with children and Elvis had no problem being with them in the privacy. Now, remember, it was very different in the 50s and 60s and 70s, guys. A man in his 20s would date younger girls. It was pretty normal. Yeah, not underage, just younger. Yeah. Right, let me just keep going because I don't know where this comment's going. I'm a bit worried about reading it. Right. Also dated woman older than him. It is very, oh yeah, Elvis also dated women older than him. It is very easy to research them. They are all on Pinterest. I think we've already read this. Okay, right. That's that comment. But an interesting comment, guys, because this Elvis fan, Marta, she's trying to say, hang on a minute, if people keep accusing Elvis of being with younger girls, but almost everyone he dated was over 20. Even you guys, let's do it together. Can you think, I'm asking you now, the subscribers, yeah, the members, can you think of anyone except for Priscilla that Elvis dated that was under 20? Jane, yeah, Jane, we know that, and it was very normal. I think Jane, what decade did you get married, Jane? What about older women going for younger men? Not that much is said. Good point. My wife says this. If the roles are reversed, it's different. She says it's not fair. So Jane got married in 1976. Even in I remember the 70s very well. It was completely normal for a man in his 20s to date a woman who was a teenager. Yeah, I don't mean a very young teenager. I mean an older teenager. Yeah, different times. It's 2024 now, guys. It's not 1960. It's not 1970. Yeah. Now remember, Elvis met Priscilla in 1959. They didn't see each other then for 2 to 3 years. By the time she moved to America, she was nearly 18. So by the time they got married, nearly 22. Yeah, different. Right, let's move on to the next comment. I don't know what all the comments are going to say. They're referring to different videos we've made, so the subjects will change. Yeah. So, hi Louis. Priscilla was called upon to justify her affair with Mike Stone in the 70s. Right. So she's obviously watched the Mike Stone video that we've done a few recently, analysing the affair, how it all happened between Priscilla and Mike Stone, how she found out about him and spotted him, how she went after him, the fact that he had a wife called Frances Stone, was married, she was pregnant, and they also had a little girl. Yeah. How Priscilla befriended Frances Stone, even going to her house for dinner, going out to karate events, going shopping together, even secretly seeing Mike Stone behind Frances Stone's back whilst they were friends. This is what makes it all 10 times worse. And of course, let's not forget, Priscilla had a very young daughter, was married to Elvis, had only been married to Elvis for 10 months. Get it? No, actually, no, I'll take that back. That's Steve Peck, the dance instructor. No, had only been married to Elvis when she spotted Mike Stone for 2.5 years, was it? Wasn't long. It was still a new marriage. Yes, it had gone wrong because of the Steve Peck affair, the dance instructor. We knew after that, in 1968, around March, their relationship was broken. But Elvis still tried to make a go of things, didn't he? Because he didn't want to be seen as a divorced man. He didn't want to break up the family in front of Lisa Marie. He wanted to do the right thing for Lisa Marie because he worshipped his daughter. So let's read this comment. So Jane says, I wouldn't have let my daughter date an older man. This was in the 80s. Well, it depends how much older, doesn't it? Don't forget, Elvis was in his 20s. If your daughter was 18 years old, it's okay to date a man in his 20s. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It's all relevant. What's the word? It's all to do with the age. Yeah. You're not going to let a 15-year-old girl date a 25-year-old man in the 80s. But would you let an 18-year-old girl date a 25-year-old man? Yeah, why not? What is the harm in that? I don't see anything wrong with that. So, oh yeah, I see what you mean, Jane. Thank you. Who we got? Miss Bigfoot in KY. How you going? Didn't we speak yesterday? I'm sure we did. We speak yesterday, Miss Bigfoot. Kentucky, yeah? In Kentucky. What's your real name? Right, so I'm just looking. Right, let's read the comment. Hi, Louis. Priscilla was called upon to justify her affairs with Mike Stone in the 70s. Nobody knew about the dance instructor, Steve Peck. But I do remember quite vividly the tabloids that shocked us all with front page photographs of Priscilla and a stranger kissing intimately. They were out there in the public. She's talking about Mike Stone. Do any of you remember it? Maybe Jane remembers it. Now, could you imagine how Elvis felt looking in the tabloids and seeing his wife, the mother of his child, kissing Mike Stone in public? These pictures are around the world, all the tabloids and magazines, with Lisa Marie was with them. Could you imagine how sickening and gutting and humiliating and embarrassing that was? Seriously, guys. Sorry, but I can't think of anything more horrible for Elvis than his wife running off with a champion karate instructor who was also a karate teacher. He knew him. Elvis knew Mike Stone, thought he was a badass, said it himself, had introduced Priscilla to him backstage, from what I hear, and Elvis had to watch that. From his home, I don't care how much Elvis had moved on. I think he was with Linda Thompson maybe by this time. She was living with him in an apartment that he basically paid for. Yeah? Do we agree? And they're kissing in public. And then Christine here, who's making this comment, remembers reading this in the tabloids. She remembers it nearly 50 years later. It's a vivid memory. Mike Stone kissing Priscilla in public. Imagine how Elvis felt. It was happening to him. Let me just check your messages. Ah, you're very welcome, Miss Bigfoot. Have you given us your name? I can't see. Let's have a look. Sorry, I'm missing a few comments. Crystal, what a beautiful name. Crystal, how lucky are you to have a name like that? You're very welcome, Crystal. Right, let's have a look. Shocked us with the front page photographs of Priscilla and a stranger kissing intimately, although they were out in public. Oh, I'll tell you what, that makes my heart skip a beat. In public, kissing his bit on the side, while his wife, Frances Stone, is at home, pregnant, or they may have even had the baby by then, and his small daughter. Yeah? Whilst Mike Stone is out in public, probably in restaurants, spending Elvis's money, wining and dining Elvis's wife. Where was Lisa Marie? If they were out and about without Lisa Marie, who had Lisa Marie? Obviously, I know she stayed at Elvis's a lot, thankfully. Right. Anyway, you get what I'm saying, don't you guys? From then on, she was regarded as a loose woman who was cheating on the most loved, desired man on the planet. Right. Any of you guys out there, do you remember this? This would have been in the late 70s, mid 70s, actually. 73, 4, and 5, yeah? Do any of you remember reading all this in the tabloids, seeing maybe even news clips, buying magazines, front page news? Any of you remember it? It sickens me when I think about it. Anyway, this is why we need an apology from Priscilla. Right, setting the record straight as she claims of her book. Now, we've mentioned that when Priscilla released this book that she wrote 7 years after Elvis died, she was not his widow, she was his ex. Yeah? She wrote this book. We've got no witnesses to this book. Elvis had nothing to do with the writing of this book. She was able to write anything she wants in this book. No one was going to stop her. She had a free hand to rewrite history and say whatever she wanted. Who was going to disagree? And then once she did write the book, everybody in the world believed it. It was a bestseller. Imagine the damage that did to Elvis. Every interview I have ever watched has been based on what was written in this book. Now, how does that make sense to anybody that someone can write a book, make up stories, their version, rewrite history, and no one can disagree and everyone believed it? This, in my opinion, is the biggest scam ever in history. Seriously, guys, you think the damage that this book has caused, you think the harm that this has done to Elvis's image and reputation, even harmed his legacy. And this book has been repeated again and again and again in movies, TV dramas, yeah, documentaries, biographies, all come from this book. Hundreds of interviews, the questioning, all based on this book. Crazy, literally crazy. I remember it very well. Priscilla and Stone in the Inquirer. Here we go. Rosalind remembers it. Hi, Rosalind. It was in the Inquirer, a very famous magazine, yes? Kissing with Lisa Marie with them. Doesn't that horrify you that Lisa Marie was with them? I was horrified and I've hated her ever since. She has no heart. And one of the comments here, so I'm just checking your comments. And one of the comments here said she was regarded as a loose woman who was cheating on the most loved and desired man on the planet. Is that true? Was after this, was she regarded as a loose woman? Because I think she probably was, yeah? Hi, Lisa. No, she probably was. But when this book came out and she was seen as a victim, I think the general public felt sorry for Priscilla and were upset with Elvis. Elvis was portrayed as a drug addict, a womanizing drug addict, that he had took advantage of Priscilla. It was Priscilla. I'm just doing a like, there's my beautiful wife. So remember, Elvis, you see, she's lost my train of thought now. I was trying to think, and she walks in with a robe on. Hi, Aurora.
No,
your robe looks very warm.
It's cozy.
She bought herself a new robe. She's proud of it.
My friend bought it.
Your friend Nick bought it for you, didn't she? It's a very nice robe. I might put it on myself.
Touching my robe.
Yes, that robe is mine. So we're just discussing when the karate instructor and Priscilla Presley had a secret affair behind Elvis's back. When Priscilla was a mother, Mike Stone, the karate instructor, his wife was pregnant, her name was Frances, and he had a little girl. And that is when Priscilla had an affair with the karate instructor. So when they split up, he left his wife that had a baby in her tummy and a little girl that was about 4. And Priscilla's daughter was about 4 as well. And they split up and ran off down the road carrying bags of money.
Naughty, naughty.
Yes, naughty, naughty. Anyway, we're still talking about Mike Stone and Priscilla Presley. So in my language, in England, she was gagging, he was gagging. Put 2 gaggings together, and what do you get?
Louis.
Gaga. Lady Gaga. So, right. Let's have a look. Let's keep going. Where were we? So I'll just leave it a bit open. They'll come in. Right. See you later. Right. Let's have a look. From then on, she was regarded as a loose woman who was cheating on the most loved and desired man on the planet, setting the record straight, as she claims of her book, carefully written after both Elvis and Vernon passed, was a very effective ploy to win back the trust and sympathy of the public. Sorry, the dogs are barking. You've done a good job of that, Crystal. Let me just get the dogs in a minute. Come on. We're in my kitchen. I can't stop the noises. Come on then. In we go. I've got 2 Jack Russells. Here they come. Come on. One's in. That's the mum, and she's 16. She's very old. She's blind and deaf. Can't hear me. Come on. Come on. Up, 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 up. Come on. Oh, you gonna let me pick you up? Oh, this is Princess. Oh, she's a bit jumpy. She don't want to be up with me. She's 16 years old. Where's the other one? Come on then. You're coming in now. It's cold out there. It's been raining. There we go. Right, you're in now. Be quiet now. Okay. Let's just see what else happens. Let's think the kids might climb on me in a bit. Don't know. They seem happy. Right. Let's keep going. So setting the record. Right. Okay. Let me just get to it. Oh yes. Right. It's carefully written after both Elvis and Vernon had passed, was a very effective ploy to win back the trust and sympathy of the public. A very effective ploy to win back the trust of the public. So what Christine is saying, Christine, I hope you don't mind me reading your comment, is that this was a big plan. This was a cunning plan. This was like, she was interviewed by Terry Wogan, the British TV interviewer, in the early 80s, around 85, when this book came out. And he was questioning her, saying, why did you write this book? What was the need? You've got enough money. He also questioned her and said to her, there's many things that you've put in this book that should have been kept private. That he also said, many fans are upset with you for writing this book. And she said, this is the Terry Wogan interview. Look it up on YouTube. Yeah. She said, I want to put the wrongs to right. Enough lies have been said about Elvis. This is Elvis's divorcee, 7 years after he died. She's got other boyfriends. Yeah. I want to put the wrongs to right. The books that have been written about him are not true. I want to set the record straight, put things right. Now, this is what really happened. It was an opportunity to rewrite history. That is what happened. This wasn't putting the wrongs to right. This wasn't setting the record straight. This had nothing to do with other people's books that were telling lies, like the Memphis Mafia book, Elvis, What Happened. This was an opportunity to do her own version of events. I'm going to do my version, my way. I'm going to write my story. Now, did she know that this, once she wrote this book, that it would then be used as fact and history? Did she know that it was going to be such a massive success? To me, the biggest scam ever. One of the most successful scams, in my opinion, for entertainment purposes, that has ever happened. And even now, it's 2024. It's still working, guys. People still believe every word in this book. And there are some things in this book that make Elvis look disgusting. Very derogatory, vulgar things are in this book. A complete rewriting of history. And I know I keep saying it over and over again, but we are defending Elvis. And the only way we are going to defend him is by exposing in every sentence, every word that is wrong, which is why we've been reading it. We're up to chapter 14, and I'm very due to read another chapter. Anyway, let's carry on that comment, which has took me ages to read, and now I've lost it. Let me find it. So anyway, come on, you've heard me say it over and over again, guys. That book, you heard about the burning of the books in Behind Gracelands, the burning of Elvis's books. That's the book that should have been burned. That book. Not the books that Priscilla made Elvis burn. Yeah? In the well behind Gracelands. Right, let's finish off that comment. So we're getting it. It's actually not that long a comment. So, to win back the trust and sympathy of the public. It worked. She did win back the trust and sympathy of the public. It worked. It worked. It's only now, years later, that we can look back at all the wrongdoing that Priscilla has done, and then we can be critical and realize something's not right. And the most latest thing is the Priscilla movie by Sofia Coppola, which we've spoken about it a million times, should never have been made. Priscilla should never have supported it. We know Lisa Marie did not want that film to be made. Then you've got the situation between Priscilla and Riley. Should never have happened. Priscilla should have welcomed Lisa Marie's views on how she wanted the trust to be handled. But no, Priscilla jumps in there and makes loads of demands, $1 million, buried in the meditation garden, legal fees paid, and other things. So now the public, because many things have happened over the decades, we've got the Barry Siegel situation, where he squandered Lisa Marie's fortune when he was her manager, and that Priscilla was involved in that, in my opinion, for entertainment purposes. We now can look back on it and go, oh my God, we've been duped. We've been duped. We fell for it. We fell for it. It's now that the fans are realizing something's not right. And now look at where things are now. Priscilla isn't even allowed in Graceland. Not really. Isn't the word Joe Y. Shanker, didn't he say, the head of Elvis Presley Enterprises, didn't he say she is welcome as long as she buys a ticket? Is that what was said? The truth is out. The truth is out. So we've been duped. You've had an over 40-year run of conning and tricking the public, in my opinion, for entertainment purposes, and the run is ended. The run is ended. Right, let's keep going. She played it brilliantly. She played it brilliantly. This is Christine's comment. Thank you so much, Christine Kingston. Everybody forgot about her indiscretions while consuming the truth that she had laid out for Elvis. The public were consuming the truth that she had laid out for Elvis. Her version. Her version. And it made them forget the word that she uses, discretion, indiscretion. Yeah? Unfaithfulness with Steve Peck, the dance instructor. Unfaithfulness with Mike Stone. And it's rumored there were others in the 60s. Rumored. Always fascinating to me that humans can be so easily manipulated. We were manipulated, guys. We were manipulated. How many of you guys were manipulated? I said this to Natalie. Natalie, are you on? Is Natalie on? I don't think she is. I said this to you guys, yeah? Let me just remind everyone that we're live. I said this to you guys. I just want to tell people we're live, just in case people are missing it. Only takes a few seconds. Okay. Right, as I was saying, I said to Natalie was asking, what was she asking me? She was asking me, I think she was asking me about how many people know about all the unfaithfulness. Many people don't know about it, do they? If you go to the average person, Natalie is here. Let me get Natalie's, I'm not sure. Natalie, what was the thing that you asked me? And I said I was going to say it on here. Let me just try and find it. Natalie, remind me. I got it. How many people, actually, no. Are you going to tell me, Natalie? Let's see if I wrote it down here. Natalie, remind me. I said I was going to, if you don't mind me asking where, oh no. You don't remember? You asked me to ask something. Something that Elvis had done. I'm trying to find your comment. It will come to me in a second. You're going to remember. Look at your messages. So, right, let's, until I remember, never believe what P said. Hi. Let's quickly check your comments. Let's go back a bit. Here we go. Sorry, I've probably missed a few of your comments. I'm going to try and scroll back a little bit. Yeah, Crystal, that looks so much better the way you've updated that. Thank you. When she was busy in bed with the Kardashians, so Robert Kardashian, mid-bonk bonk, Elvis called her and she let him listen in on the bedroom behavior. And I've heard this many times. Did that actually happen, Gio? Did it actually happen? If it did, that is disgusting. Disgusting. Terry Wogan had a sus, didn't he? Who said the comment? Finola. That interview is brilliant. Guys, go on to YouTube, dig up Terry Wogan and Priscilla interview. It's brilliant. He's one of the few interviewers that actually probed her, disagreed with her, put her on the spot. Because I think most of the interviews she's had have been pre-rehearsed, the questions pre-written. Really do, guys. Let's have a look. We all know that she implies in the book that he took her without permission, and then I saw it in an Australian TV show. She got snarky with the ladies who were interviewing her about it. Yeah. Now, we've read that section. I don't know if many of you know, we've been doing one chapter at a time. We're up to chapter 14, and I read it, and she gives quite intimate details of what went on in that. I dispute them. I'm like, she can say what she wants. We don't know if every word that she put in that book, bearing in mind she spent the next 40 years saying that she never slept with him. Yeah. But in the book, she says everything happened, that he even got to the point once where he withdrew. She uses that word. We got so excited, Elvis had to withdraw. Well, to me, that's sex. So I dispute it. I dispute it. Right, let's have a look. I'm just trying to... Saying Elvis took her, well, she was waiting on it. Now, come on. She also says that she was begging him to do it, and he refused. He was refusing. Louis said he would be going over a list of Scylla's boyfriends. I will need a nap after that. That list. Valvis, I am going to go over a list of her boyfriends, but not now. I'm too tired. But I have a very long list. Elaine sent it me, actually. She admits in that book that there was one lover before Mike Stone. Yeah. Well, yes, she calls him Mark. And it's on page 262. I could read it to you guys. I've read it to you before. Does anyone want me to read about Mark, her lover, on page 262? Let's keep going. She used to take Mike Stone to Elvis's concert and make scenes flaunting her relationship. Right, so Pat says yes. Okay. What I don't really like reading, but I can read page 262. I've read it to you guys a few times because it does make me laugh. Yeah. Let's have a look. Now remember, I'm tired. You know I can't read. My reading is terrible. And it's dark in here. I'm going to read it. Why not? Guys, proof that Priscilla was unfaithful. Proof that she was living with Elvis. And while she was living with Elvis, she was thinking about Steve Peck, the dance instructor, who in this book she calls Mark. And in that comment that Christine made, it had been conveniently forgotten about by the general public because we were manipulated. This book manipulated us to believe every word of it. And come on. Oh, that was the question. That was the question that we believed. I'm sure, Natalie, wasn't that the question that we believed that we were manipulated to believe everything in this book? Was that the question or not? Anyway, let's just have a look. I'm sorry to make you go back, but I want to catch up. Look, Crystal, we're going to do chapter 14, maybe tomorrow, and then I'll start again at the beginning. We're going to review this book. Now, the way we do this book, we are reviewing it. We are criticizing every word, every sentence. We're going through it, and if we think it doesn't sound right, something doesn't feel right, we are then criticizing it. We're not just reading the book. Yeah? So, page 262, if you have it, follow along. It starts a little bit, let me just move this back a bit. It starts a little bit, not that interesting, but then she uses some very interesting wording, and I will start laughing because you'll see in a minute. He said I had the potential to be a good dancer, and he pushed me to the limit. She's talking about Mark, the dance instructor, who is actually Steve Peck. This is 8 to 10 weeks after Lisa Marie was born in 1968, 10 months after they married. Yes, so we have to get this in context. She's living with Elvis. Out of frustration and pain, I would want to quit. Demanding that I continue, He told me I was building character and forced me to repeat the same routine until it was nearly perfect. This made me realize I could go further than I'd ever dreamed. He believed in me and I was accomplishing something. For the first time, I was creating a feeling of good about myself. Feeling good about myself, and I couldn't wait to get to class each day. Mark was charismatic and I was particularly vulnerable in lieu of a passionate marriage. So remember, this woman is married. She's just had a baby. This is months after the baby was born, about 2 months after the baby was born. For the first time, I was creating feelings of and feeling good about myself, and I couldn't wait to get to class each day. Mark was charismatic. I was particularly vulnerable in lieu of a passionate marriage. Dance was becoming my life. I was obsessed with it. Taking all my frustrations and feelings into the studio, I found myself thinking about Mark even when I was home. I had only seen him a few times in my life, and yet I was unable to get him out of my mind. I rationalized, telling myself it was because he was always there for me. He seemed to understand me, while the man I truly loved was involved in his own world. I began to relax, enjoying myself almost against my will. It had been a while since I had spent some time with a man who validated my abilities and appreciated spending time with me alone. Mark validated her abilities and appreciated spending time with her alone. Are we talking about sex here? Right. Let's have a look. I still find it funny. Validated my abilities and has appreciated spending time with me alone. It was also the first time I was competing for my own identity. How many times have we heard that? It was also the first time I was not competing for my own identity. Why did Priscilla leave Elvis? She wanted to find her own identity. How many times have we heard it? Now remember, this woman who wanted to find her own identity, who moved to America when she was nearly 18, who got married at nearly 22, and at this point was probably 23. Yeah, this was a high I had not experienced recently. What does that mean, guys? Think about it. I had a brief affair and decided to end it. The end. In other words, I bonked the dance instructor whilst I was living with Elvis, whilst my baby was 8 to 10 weeks old. Yeah? And as Christine said in her comment, we were manipulated in a way to feel sorry for Priscilla and to forget Priscilla's wrongdoing. To forget about Mark, Steve Peck, to forget about the karate instructor, Mike Stone. All we were allowed to remember was that Elvis was a drug addict. Elvis was binging on cheeseburgers. Elvis was the unfaithful one. Elvis had a temper. Elvis may have raped her. Elvis liked little girls. This is the trickery of that book. We were tricked, duped, manipulated. That's what happened, guys. That's what happened. And it's still happening now. And the reason I can say it's still happening now was because of Sofia Coppola's film, Priscilla. Based on Priscilla. Now, Sofia Coppola, I know you've heard me say it again and again, guys, was written from this film. This book. This is the storyline of the Priscilla film made in 2023, was it? Yeah? Why? Why did Sofia Coppola agree to make a film based on a story that was told by Priscilla in 1985? So much has happened since then. So much more evidence and facts have come out since 1985 to show that this is very far from the truth. So much. Why? Why such an, such a highly respected filmmaker would follow an old storyline, no proof, no evidence. Elvis had been dead 7 years. A book that was written by a divorcee, not a widow, a woman that had given up the Presley name and taken it back. But Sofia Coppola still went ahead and made this film, and it's been a flop, hasn't it? It's completely flopped. Yeah? Of course it flopped, because there was nothing new in this film. There was nothing to excite the general public. Well, first of all, the general public aren't interested in Priscilla in the way that they are interested in Elvis. Elvis is the star, not Priscilla. I think that's the mistake Priscilla made. Fine, this is Priscilla. Finally, I'm the star, Priscilla. They're going to make a film about me. Everything I made up in my story, my fake fairy tale, my broken marriage, everything in my story except for the love affairs. Remember, the Priscilla film doesn't show a love affair, does it? It doesn't talk about Steve Peck, the dance instructor. It doesn't mention Mike Stone. All you see in the Priscilla film is Priscilla and Mike Stone in karate clothing doing that for a couple of seconds. There are no details. There is no mention of Priscilla's unfaithfulness twice just after the baby's born, poor Lisa Marie. 18 months later, there's no mention of it. There is, oh, I needed to find myself. And then it shows the ending of Priscilla going off into the sunset to find herself. You get it, guys? Manipulated. So anyway, you get what I'm saying, guys. I could go on and on. I know you've heard this all before, but we have to keep defending Elvis. We have to keep repeating the same old stuff over and over again to try and jolt people and go, something's not right. Something's not right. And the more we do it, the more we repeat it, hopefully it gets out there. Anyway, I'm going to have to go. So if you've enjoyed it, guys, please buy me a coffee. Hit the coffee button. Please subscribe. Please become a member. It's $1 a month. I really appreciate you guys. I really love getting together with you. I don't normally do live streams at this time of night, but I just felt like it. So thanks a lot for we come together in my kitchen and we could just talk about Elvis and defend him because he cannot defend himself. Elvis cannot defend himself. Can't do it. We defend Elvis. We are defenders of Elvis. We are Team Elvis. We get together. We stick up for him. Yeah? And we are going to keep doing it again and again and again until a bigger platform hears us. Who knows? We may get an apology from Priscilla one day. Who knows? We may get on ABC News, Sky News. Shout from the rooftops. Things aren't right. Something is wrong. Elvis was mistreated. Anyway, guys, we're out of here. Take care. All the best to you. I'm off to bed. It's late at night in the UK. Many of you are in America, so it's probably like 5 o'clock, isn't it? So you've still got your day ahead of you. So hello to all of you around the world, UK, Australia, Canada, whatever country you're in. Some of you are in Spain. Thanks very much, guys. You take care. Love to all of you. All the best, guys. I'll give you a wave.